The Republican National Convention has come to a close, highlighting some of the GOP's biggest stars. ABC News political commentator Cokie Roberts joins us now to make sense of it all from Tampa. Good morning to you, Cokie.
How are you doing, Jason?
I'm
here in the convention hall, the forum in Tampa, and you can hear there's a lot of building going on behind me for this last night. Hammers and saws and drills going away as they try to make the stage even bigger for Mitt Romney and his family. So it's going to be a big night here tonight.
And you know what, Cokie, I was not the intended audience when Ann Romney took the stage Tuesday night, but how well do you think she connected with women, and how important is that for Republicans to get that vote?
Well, I think she did connect with women. I think that her descriptions of what women's lives are like were very recognizable. But that doesn't get you the vote. But you know, that's Mitt Romney's job, is to get the vote. But she certainly did show that this is not a couple that is hostile to women, which is, of course, what the Democrats have been charging, that the Republicans are waging a war on women. So there's been a lot of attempt here at this convention to bring women front and center, not only Ann Romney, but of course last night a big speech that was incredibly well received here in the hall by Condoleezza Rice, the former Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under President George W. Bush.
You know,
and lots of women governors
right,
and members of Congress and all of that have been speaking.
You know, and I was going to ask you about that. There's been some disturbing reports out of the convention that one of them, that two convention goers had to be escorted out for throwing peanuts at a black CNN photographer and making derogatory comments about her. How much do reports like that hurt Republicans when they need that minority vote? And does having people like South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and Condoleezza Rice make a difference to the minority vote?
Well, again, you know, the vote is generally not about individuals. The vote is about economic matters or about history. In the case of the African American vote, it's about the whole civil rights debate and civil rights laws and movement. In the Hispanic vote, where there's a tremendous amount of resentment about the immigration stance that some Republican members of Congress and governors have taken, and that Mitt Romney took during the primary campaign. So those are the real issues that those votes are about. But yes, putting people up on the stage that are recognizable to minority communities make a difference, and it does make a difference to have nasty incidents like the one that you're citing. Now, it's not clear whether these very rude people, who were probably had enjoyed a few spirits, whether they were being rude because the camera woman was African American or because she was from CNN. And there is a lot of sense here that the media is biased and liberal, and that might have been what they were complaining about.
And Cokie, Paul Ryan, he made his national debut and got a rock star welcome. What are some of the challenges he faces as the VP pick, and how much will his stance on Medicare affect the GOP ticket?
Well, I think he handled Medicare straight on, which was smart. Instead of just pretending it wasn't there and wasn't an issue, he talked about it and said, look, you know, the biggest threat to Medicare is Obamacare, and it's Obama who's taking $700 billion out of Medicare. And I failed to mention that his plan did the same thing, but in different ways. And he said this is a debate that we're not afraid to have, a debate we need to have, and a debate that we will win. And you know, it's interesting, Jason, in our polling as recently as this week, we're seeing Romney's and Ryan, that ticket, doing better on Medicare. Voters say they trust them more on the issue of Medicare than they do the Democrats. Again, the Republicans are doing better among older voters than Obama is. So it's an issue that they think that they can deal with, and they think the reason they can deal with it is the president's health care law. They think that that's changed the political dynamic. We'll see whether that's true or not.
Yeah, and Cokie, you know, day-to-day tracking polls show that, but right now the latest Rasmussen poll shows 53% of Americans think Obama will win re-election compared to Romney's 33%. How much difference do you think the RNC will make in those numbers there?
Well, that's, of course, an interesting number. And we had a similar sort of number in the ABC poll earlier this week. 56% said they thought that Obama would win. And, you know, there is a certain tendency to go with the winner. So that number does make a difference. But again, there's a whole campaign ahead here. This convention, even though some of us feel like this campaign's been going on for a very long time, this convention is really the beginning of the official campaign and the beginning when most people start to pay attention. It is important. Romney's speech tonight is very important, but so are the presidential debates coming up. Because even though more than half of the voters say they think Obama's going to win, it's still absolutely evenly tied when you ask voters, who are you going to vote for? And it has been tied for months and months and months. So we will either go into this election with it still tied, or we will have something break it free. And those debates are the most likely thing to do that.
All right, that was ABC News political commentator Cokie Roberts. Thanks so much for your time.